Hey guys. It's about almost 8:35 at night. It's about the 27th. I think either 26th or 27th of. I'm losing track of time. But it's Thursday night. It's a Thursday night. Zombie Weaver, John C. Emotionally deprived and sleep deprived and screwed up everywhere else. Yeah, going through the YouTubes these days. Let's just see what's going on. And naturally, pick back up on politics again. Apparently Fox News is getting slow in their news cycles these days. And they got to go after homeless people out in Los Angeles. They're talking about, and I'll probably still have to verify it or not, one way or another, if there are community service agencies out there offering laundry equipment to the homeless, then that's considered socialism. That's considered bad because homeless people need to rise themselves up from the bottom and then pick themselves up and shine and go forward. And to tell these people, but sometimes the reality check sucks. No, let's not say I hate it. I have to tell this to them. It's not wanting, it's trying to show them and explain what decency is, and they don't know what it is. You see, when you're homeless, there's many factors against you already driving you to that point. Emotional, financial, maybe other factors I'm not quite sure of. Losing your house because you can't afford the rent anymore. Kicked out of the house because either you got evicted or your family's just kicking you out, or maybe you're moving out because you can't stand it no more. Whatever the reasons will drive you crazy, they are dramatic enough. They are powerful and emotional, and it will drive you insane. And it drives you to desperation and frustration. A horror stories that one person can hear over at general relief offices and also at food giveaways. You manage to hear the people talking. Some people, when they go over to the food giveaways, they actually do have jobs, but they can't afford to get food. They're living in between paycheck to paycheck. It's a struggle. I know I've been there before. Too many damn times. When you start to know people over there by name and they start to know you by story, ugh, it gets even worse. Even when you go over to the food gathering places like crazy and they know you and your story, it's even worse. You talk about humiliation galore and humbled. I mean, when you start to know each other over there, it starts becoming a clique, a family, a gathering over there, and it's more support that you'll ever get out there from anybody else. General relief offices is a different story altogether. It's all bureaucratic. Some people actually do get hired off the street, but turn into bureaucratic drones. Like you've seen them behind there. They may have sympathized, but they are caught into the county rules and regulations of what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do, what they can allow and what they can't allow. When you try to get to know maybe a couple of them, you're in the system far too damn long. They're supposed to have been a temporary safety net, but some people actually use it for a longer time than that. And there had been regulations being passed left and right. Cities would pass them, counties would pass them, just to make sure that their own departments are working, and they're not taking advantage of people, or people are not taking advantage, or too much advantage of the general system. And even that's been happening too. I know because I've seen it, I've heard it. And when you're in that kind of desperation, yeah, it's hard as hell to get jobs, but you try to get jobs as much as possible. County of Los Angeles kept encouraging people to get work. Kern County is one of those counties that just gives you food, but not much. Depending on the income that you're getting in and your expenses, dictates how much you're going to be able to be allowed to eat on, especially when you have Social Security. They've got certain limits that once you reach past a certain limit, I mean, that's, you can't get it. You get this much. You've got any other, like family depending upon you, and you're not single, well, maybe they give you a little bit more than that. They won't give out cash aid through Kern County. LA County they do, but they will get you down the road. Now, they will encourage you to go through a work program if you are able to, if you are physically able to. What I'm having right now is attacking a killer roaches. I just got one rained up on me. I'm having a bug war still. Yeah, even to this day. It's not a good day. Emotionally, I have been screwed up left and right, and the depression's kicking my ass. When I crave sleep more than when I crave action at this point over here, now I know there's something wrong with me. Especially even when I canceled out on my therapist at this point, telling her I need to get food. It's not a joke. I mean, I still need to get a grub in this place, but I was going to try taking care of a few things, and I didn't think I was going to be needing her at that point. I should have just kept up with the appointment and gotten to the store later, but I didn't. So now I got to wait another 3 more weeks before I get another appointment with a lady. So it's going to take a lot longer. I've already had about 2 or 3 weeks anyway. But it still tells me that I'm still screwed up anyway. Getting back to the homeless situation. Areas that you try to sleep in, you can't because you're not safe. They try to allow a few places to be you can sleep in, but everywhere else they keep pushing and shoving you along. You're just a walking zombie. They want to help you, but there's too many of you. There's not enough beds, there's not enough spaces, and there's not enough goodwill to get more beds and more spaces. Apparently they think that you're going to be on the street long enough, you're going to get off your dead ass and you're going to get work. In order to do that, you need to have a base of operations. You need to get yourself settled. You need to get yourself in a situation where you can. Even if it's just a temporary bed for a short time, it gives you a leg up of how to get the community services that you need to survive. This isn't the easiest damn thing that people on news media organizations who are earning hundreds of thousands of dollars have never been through. I'd like to see these guys go through this crap, but no. They're the elite. I gotta tell these people, even elites fall down. They will crash, and they will end up in homeless. They will have people turning their backs on them that they thought they were family and friends. Maybe if they're lucky enough, they'll have true friends and true family members, other than people trying to use them. I've seen that happen. I've heard the stories. When you're on the street and you talk to people, you go to food giveaways enough, you hear the conversations around you. You go to general relief places and you talk to people in line. And also people in the place who are waiting to get more aid or getting it reestablished one more time because they screwed up on the paperwork. And counties are notorious for trying to get their paperwork accurate. If you're not accurate, go through it all through the process, and it's a nightmare. But if you got money, then you don't need that place, do you? You don't need to go through GR, see if you're going to get any food stamps or financial aid. As long as you got money, my God, if you got $20 in your pocket, you're rich. Some people will probably take that away from your ass. use it for their own food. And believe me, on the streets, it's no safe place to be. Not even in the shelters. People try to go to different public places thinking they'll be safe, because who would be attacking you in a public place? You want to bet? They'll attack you on the streets, even if you're still walking. If you're at a county facility, you're in a county place or property in L.A. There was a ordinance passed decades ago that homeless could not be harangued or harassed during business hours. Afterwards, some people actually do camp on the county properties because they still think it's safe. But when the morning comes, they have to leave the area a little bit, so make sure other people can use the county property. Because it's not that easy trying to find a place to live or even sleep. Out here in the Antelope Valley, California, Palmdale, Lancaster area, even Roseman, Little Rock, Lake LA, Luana, Mojave, desert regions. People could try camping out if they could. Usually within LA County and Palmdale, there are certain tracts areas that they hide. They'll dig out holes if they have to, or trenches, and cover it up, and then use it as home. I'll have to watch out for the damn bugs and the snakes and everything else out there, but they try to make it a decent place to live. Sometimes they build it along railroad tracks or on company properties. Make little tract communities. Just a place to call home for a time. They'll beg, borrow, get a tent one way or another if they have to, and that'll become home for maybe 2 or 3 or 4 people if they're lucky. And at times, if there's enough complaints from the NIMBYs out there, who are sick and tired of seeing that, of other people trying to live and survive, sheriffs, law enforcement are forced to go out and relocate. Actually, not relocate them. Get rid of them. Move them on. Shove them out. Destroy their homes. You've got a mayor around here who's been doing that for over a couple of decades already since he's been in office. He's coming on his last term. And nobody likes this guy, because he has been pushing people out left and right. And they hate his guts. I don't blame them. I'd hate his guts too. I've never been in that situation where I really desired to tell a mayor where to stick it. But he's been after the homeless. He's been after LA County as well. He kept complaining to LA County and LA City that they've been transporting their homeless from their areas to the Antelope Valley, to where Palmdale, but mostly Lancaster, had been the dumping spots. Lancaster has more of the churches and food giveaways than anywhere else, but we don't have the area necessary to contain a lot of the homeless. We got over, 12, 15,000 on the street, and still counting it out. When we have a census going, we also have people going out there in the street trying to get numbers going. Sometimes they do it every year, and sometimes they do it every 10 years. But they try to get a census for their annual reports, so they could tell the state of California, and they could still tell the counties of what they're dealing with. And right now, it's just not economically feasible for people to be homeless. Oh, they think they're going to get all the benefits that they need? Shit. You kidding me? They could scrape up a few cents. It takes about $3 or $4 just to get a laundry going. It doesn't count for laundry, but if they can get to a resource center, hopefully they can get the materials necessary to get their clothing washed. And it's not that easy sometimes. They get booked solid, but they'll try. They'll even try to get their clothing washed inside bathrooms if they have to. See, I don't get it with the press guys. I really don't. I don't understand why Fox News would be one of those would be the network to pick upon the lowly. Are they getting that desperate regarding their ratings at this point? I mean, hell, they got their ratings concerning about their chewing on other people during these debates and stuff, and we've got an election coming up for the midterms. But now, they got to pick upon homeless people? As if they got nothing else better to do. A national chain's got to pick upon homeless people left and right. Even our own local stations don't even do that. They're sympathetic to the homeless. In fact, some of them actually off camera and on their own time try to help out as much as they can with different charity organizations that happen to deal with the homeless and anything else. Sometimes they'll advertise it, sometimes they won't. But sometimes they'll be seen at the meals given out to homeless. See, we got people out here in the Southland that actually do care about the homeless. But a national chain like Fox doesn't give a shit anyway. None of them have been homeless. Because if they did, they wouldn't be attacking the homeless like crazy. See, people who are under the elite here, that they try to express themselves, well, they're not elite. Therefore, they don't matter. But they're still viewers. They would want their vitriol, their hatred over everybody else, and they can exist on that because that's their own ratings right there. It screws me over every time there's a bomb measure coming out there to help the homeless out. It always gets to be tossed out because the NIMBYs won't vote for it. They don't want to spend their tax money on it. They don't want to spend their property taxes on it. Why am I giving my money out to the other guy when the guy's not even doing anything for himself right now? He ain't going to do anything for me. Why am I giving money to him? Why is he still in my backyard? Wait for it. Wait for it. Because at this point, he wouldn't know, this particular NIMBY guy, whether or not he's going to be keeping his job that keeps paying his car, keeping his wife happy and satisfied with whatever gifts and shit that she's getting, and a roof over the head. Not to mention dealing with the kids. But when the job collapses, it starts the following a chain reaction here. Property taxes due. Bills have to be paid. Creditors coming out. These guys have never been in that kind of situation before. I have. Not fun. Not fun. So, warning to Fox News. Karma. What goes around comes around. One day you get stuck. in a food line, and without a bed, without a place to sleep, and without people to care about you. Come here. Come here. I know. No, but get over here. Get over here, Mamas. Ah. Try feeding a dog on scraps that you get, whatever kind of scraps you get, even at soup kitchens. You guys just don't get it until you get in that position, and then you're in trouble. I know, Mamas, we're going.